Hey everyone, Wet Movie 1 back here again for another autograph video, the second part to my autograph collection. I'm about to show you guys what I have autographed in these two boxes right there. I also scattered some throughout my room so I can move around and show you some of the other cool stuff that I have autographed. But if you guys haven't seen it yet, check out the first part of this video. Link to that one in the very top of the description box, where I show you some posters and cool other autographed memorabilia that I have in my collection. But let's get started and pop open these boxes to see what kind of cool autograph stuff I have in them. I have all sorts of, different DVDs and things signed by different people. But let's dive into these and let's start right here. I have this random picture that I got from a Syntopia, from me sitting on the Scream couch and the Scream set and stuff. That's kind of cool to have. But one of the first things I got signed that's in this box right here is my Ninja Academy DVD signed by Gerald Okamura, the main man right there holding a sword, who you guys also know from Big Trouble Little China. Met him a couple times at the Dragon Fest conventions and stuff out here in Burbank, California. Another one I have signed, it's in a protective case, is my Bride of Chucky signed by Don Mancini and Jennifer Tilly. I met them on multiple different occasions and things, Don Mancini being the creator of the Child's Play franchise, and of course Jennifer Tilly. And I also have my It's Alive trilogy set right here, signed by Larry Cohen. In the last autograph video I told you guys I met him and he signed this one, and the documentary that was made about the man. I think I have that coming up in just a moment or two. But it's cool, man. This is a cool little horror trilogy. If you guys have never seen these movies, I suggest checking them out if you guys are into cool horror flicks. And I also have my Magic Kid DVD here, signed by one of my favorite martial artists. As a kid growing up, this is probably one of my favorite martial art movies. American, straight to DVD martial art movies, called Magic Kid, signed by Don the Dragon Wilson himself. He kind of plays himself in the movie, and it was so cool getting to meet him multiple times throughout the years. Once I met him at a screening of the movie Blood Fist, and Blood Fist 2, they did like a double feature of his Blood Fist films. And I don't know, man, I always liked him, and it was really cool getting to meet him and interview him and talk to him and stuff. This guy right here is the guy that got me into martial art movies to begin with, man. Magic Kid right here.
Well, you know what? When they sent me the script, they said, "Would you be in this movie?" And I said, "It's a 90-minute commercial for me." Yeah. It's about a kid whose dream is to come to LA and meet Don the Dragon Wilson. I played myself. Yeah. That's not a stretch.
And keeping with the martial art movie theme, I have my Prince of the Sun, signed by the main lady herself, Cynthia Rothrock, right there. I got to meet her, and she taught me how to pole dance at Dragon Fest. Well, guys, I didn't know Cynthia Rothrock knew how to pole dance. Girl, I thought you were...
Ready for the lesson?
You're gonna give me a lesson? Okay, how do you start?
Okay, your first lesson is hold on to the pole.
Okay.
Now look at the pole.
Look at the pole.
Like if you like it.
Okay.
Oh!
Hey, okay, I'm looking at the pole.
Lick the pole. No.
Okay. Whoa. What's going on?
You gotta gyrate your hips a little.
I gotta gyrate my hips a little? This past year was super cool getting to meet her. She's definitely an icon in the martial art world. She's done some movies with Sammo Hung and Yuan Biao and things like that. And keeping on with the martial art kick, I also have my Karate Kid 4K Blu-ray, signed by Martin Kove, who played Sensei Kreese in the movie No Mercy. No Mercy, Sensei. So hopefully, someday in the future, I'll get, Ralph Macchio to sign it, and maybe the guy that played, Mr. Lawrence. And I also have my Blu-ray of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, signed by Edie McClurg, who played, the principal's assistant in the film, and she was also in, of course, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Next up over here, I got my Rookie of the Year DVD signed right here by Thomas Ian Nicholas, Mr. Rowan Gardner himself, and he was kind enough to also sign a baseball for me that says, "To Brendan, pitchers got a big butt." Thomas Ian Nicholas right here. I've known Thomas for a year or two now. We've done a couple of videos together. He even invited me and a couple of my friends to be part of his newest movie called Adverse, which there's a trailer for up online right now. I have a link for it in the description box somewhere if you guys want to check it out. Me and Fluffy, Luna, my friend Scotty, we got to hang out on set and be a part of a couple of the scenes and this nightclub stuff. It was really kind of super cool. Like, there was this movie premiere I went to for the movie called The Last Movie Star, and Thomas was, happened to be there at the after party, and, we got to chat for a few moments there, which I thought was kind of cool. But that same night, that I got to see Thomas at this premiere, I got to hang out a little bit with Burt Reynolds. You know what I mean? Like, I sad to say I don't have like an autograph from him or like real big videos with him or anything like that. But I did get to sit on the couch with him, share a few moments with him, and got a picture with him and everything like that. But dude, hanging out with Burt Reynolds for a moment or two, that was really super cool. And yeah, speaking of Thomas Ian Nicholas, and he also signed my American Pie Blu-ray right here, along with Tara Reid, who I got to meet on multiple occasions. I met Tara Reid once at Monsterpalooza one year, and Tara Reid also signed my Josie and the Pussycats DVD right here. You guys know her from this flick. That's cool. I know some people will be like, why didn't you bring Big Lebowski? I like these ones. I love Big Lebowski too, but like, this is the jam to me. But I'm not gonna lie, I have to say this here and now. Ever since I was growing up watching movies, you've always been one of my crushes growing up. I just have to say that and get it out of the way. Come on now, come on guys. Alright, I'm gonna try my best to zoom by some of these ones, because if I ramble too long, about the rest of these, I'm gonna be here all night and the video's gonna be like an hour and 2 hours long or something like that. But I also have the House of a Thousand Corpses, the DVD that came out in that slim pack back in the day, signed by Matthew McGorry, Sid Haig, and House of a Thousand Corpses. Can't go wrong with that one. I also have my Dude, Where's My Car Blu-ray here, signed by my homeboy, Mikey Rader, also known as Michael Ray Bauer. They're all sold out of their dollar things that they had going on, the Blu-rays and DVDs.
It doesn't matter, they got a cock ring.
Is that a cock ring? Oh,
cock ring.
What's up with these?
For special people like me.
I knew it. I knew it.
Hey, it's the one time you're gonna get a sex joke out of me. I'm gonna do.
Okay, I could have sworn this wasn't a cock ring. It was one of those things you put on the toilet and just.
Yeah, for you maybe, but for me it's a cock ring.
You know who I'm talking about. He's been in my videos for the last handful of years. I love that guy very, very much, and it's really cool to have his autograph on Dude, Where's My Car. Let's see. We also got King Cohen. Documentary about Larry Cohen, the same guy that made the It's Alive trilogy right here, signed by the different actors and producers and people that were involved in this documentary. I still haven't watched this one yet, but I went to like I said, I went to that signing for this when I got Larry Cohen to sign my It's Alive and things like that. This is kind of a rare thing to have in my collection, and I got 2 autographs from the gentleman, and it's kind of like one of those things like you're not going to really see him at a convention. I don't think he's ever done a convention before, but I met Nicolas Cage for a brief moment at this premiere of his newest movie called Color Out of Space, and he signed my Con Air and my Face Off Blu-rays right here. His autograph looks like one big M. And everything on here. You can barely make it out on the Con Air because the color that I used for the marker or whatever, but he signed my Con Air and Face Off, 2 of my favorite movies that he's ever done. But it was kind of cool, getting to talk to him and be in his presence, if you know what I'm saying, over there at the Color Out of Space premiere. But I also have this, I have Wreck-It Ralph here on the 3D Ultimate Edition Blu-ray set right here. You may be like, Brendan, Wreck-It Ralph? You have it autographed? Yeah, you can barely kind of see it. But it's signed because I met Sarah Silverman. I went to this comedy show that was held at the Largo and Coronet in Hollywood. She does these, stand-up comedy shows there a few times a month, at least, when the world was normal, before the outbreak happened. And, she was just hanging out. I got a picture with her, in the lobby, and she signed my Wreck-It Ralph DVD or Blu-ray right here, which I think is kind of cool because she doesn't really do conventions. But that's move around my collection here to show you guys some other autograph stuff. I also have my Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1 DVD right here. This is like one of those ones that came from like a different country. I forgot what country it was. This is before Shout Factory put the series out. And I have it signed by almost everybody here, except for, of course, Trini, because the original Yellow Ranger, forgive me for butchering her name, is no longer with us, but it's signed by Tommy, Jason David Frank, and the person that, voiced Lord Zed, and you know, all sorts, you know, Zach and Jason and, you know, all sorts of people up on this bad boy. And I think it's really cool. Even the lady that voiced Rita Repulsa is here. I met these people at, you know, Power Morphicon. They have like a Power Ranger convention held out here every couple of years. And this is one of my prized pieces that I have because I used to love watching the hell out of this. At least the original series, you know, back in the day. And I also have this one right next to it. My Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star, Blu-ray, signed here by Nick Swartzen himself. This was at the same place where I met Sarah Silverman, where they hold those comedy shows at the Largo in Hollywood. And he was just hanging out, signed it for me. But I got to move on over to one of my prized possessions. I have right here my Willy Wonka and the chocolate, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory Blu-ray. This is the Digibook edition, you know, that came out from Warner Brothers years ago. And it's signed by Veruca Salt, Mike TV, and Violet Beauregard. I'm not going to say their names because I'm probably going to get it wrong right now, but it's cool that they signed their names in gold. These three made an appearance at the Hollywood show, or one of the Hollywood shows, a handful of years ago, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm bringing this over, man. I was hoping one day I can meet the person that played Charlie Bucket, and, you know, maybe even Augustus Gloop and stuff, because I know they're still around doing stuff. You know, doing things and conventions sometimes. So hopefully one day I'll get to meet those guys, you know, those guys as well. And we move up to my Juice Blu-ray, signed by Ernest Dickerson, the director. Also, he's known as the, you know, cinematographer of the movie Do the Right Thing. But this was his first directorial debut, and he was working alongside Tupac, so that's pretty damn cool. Got to interview him and talk to him for a good amount of time at Dark Delicacies one year, and he signed my Blu-ray right there. But Ernest Dickerson also signed my Do the Right Thing. This is the original Blu-ray before the Criterion, you know, collection put their own version out of it. You know, he signed it right here. But I also have it signed by Spike Lee. It's probably one of the weakest autographs I have in my collection next to Nicolas Cage. But I got to meet Spike Lee briefly at this anniversary screening of Do the Right Thing at the Egyptian Theater. And sometimes celebrities, you know, they sign a couple of things for people as, you know, before they leave the building, you know, kind of thing. And if you're at the right place at the right time, they do it. And he just put SL right there. So I got a little clip, you know, of Spike Lee, of just me kind of like, would you like to sign it, please? You know, kind of thing. And, you know, he's just like, okay, boy. You know, it was a real short little moment, but he signed my Do the Right Thing, my favorite movie of his of all time. I also have my my Deuce Bigalow Male Gigolo DVD signed by Rob Schneider himself. You can see I think you can kind of sort of see the autograph on there. I met him at the Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank, and he was really cool. I took a picture with him, and he also signed the DVD for me, which I think is super cool because I've been a big fan of his, and you know, and his work for a long time. You know, from SNL and doing all the movies with Adam Sandler and things like that. I think it's super cool. I also have the toy on DVD here, signed by what's it called, Scotty Schwartz, who's also in, of course, you know, A Christmas Story and things, but he played the main little boy that's messing around with you know, Richard Pryor in the movie. I also have my Jury Duty DVD here, signed by Pauly Shore himself. His autograph's kind of a sloppy one, but hey, I know what it is. I got to meet him a couple of times throughout the years, and I got a really weird, kind of cringy interview with him at the Ice House in Pasadena and stuff one year. I'm with the legend.
Okay, that's enough. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm with the legend right now, Pauly Shore.
Don't touch me like that. Oh. No, you can touch me.
I can touch you like this? No. Okay, I'm kidding. Don't worry, I'm not that weird. But I've been a big fan of you for many years, and I just recently started listening to your podcast, Pauly Shore Rants.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I'm really digging those.
Wow, thank you.
But it was cool to have a moment with him nonetheless, because his movies always make me smile, always make me laugh, like this one and Biodome, which I have the Biodome one in here signed somewhere. It's probably in the other box, but you'll probably see it in just a moment or two, but signed by Pauly Shore himself, bro. Let's see what else is in this box right here. I also have my Scream 5-disc set right here, signed by Randy, also known as Jamie Kennedy. But when it comes to Jamie Kennedy, there was this weird little experience that I had with the man. Me and him almost got arrested together. And if you don't believe me, here's a little clip of me and him talking about it. Hanging out with Jamie Kennedy out here. Hey. I was talking to him in the show, and he he pulled me over on the street, and I almost got pulled over by a cop right now.
The cop let you go.
The cop was gonna take me in. I thought I was like some drunk vagrant or something.
You're not a drunk vagrant.
Going back to the collection over here, I have my original Texas Chainsaw Massacre DVD that I got at Suncoast years ago, the old school Pioneer release right here. This one's kind of a rare one right here because everyone that I have that signed this DVD right here is no longer with us, that passed away. Marilyn Burns, the star of the film, signed by Tobe Hooper, and also Gunnar Hansen right here. I got them at, I think, a Fangoria Weekend of Horror convention years ago. And Tobe Hooper wasn't really, like, you know, signing autographs like at a table or anything one year. Like after his panel, he was, you know, he was like leaving, and I saw a group of people kind of like follow him, you know, kind of thing. And like, and he started signing stuff for people in this corner. You know, in the building, and I was like, what? So I was like, you know what? This is probably the only chance I'm going to get to meet Tobe Hooper. So I got his autograph on there, and actually Gunnar Hansen was one of my very first interviews I ever did, celebrity-wise, when it comes to my YouTube channel, and he was really super kind to me, and it was a really cringy interview. If you guys know the story, I talked about it before in a past video, but he was really super kind to me, and these guys will be forever missed. But also, I have my Gold Diggers Secret of Bear Mountain DVD. You're like, Brendan, it's not autographed. Why are you showing this thing? Well, this is probably one of my first autographs I ever got that I kept inside here because, you know, I needed to put it somewhere, and it was one of those ones I got by mail long time ago from Christina Ricci herself. She had like a little like mail away like fan club sort of thing going on back in the 90s. And if you mail, you know, whatever it was, like a mail away kind of thing. I was a kid, my mom found out about it or whatever it was, and she sent back a signed picture right here. And this is before, you know, long before she did conventions. This was back in the 90s in her heyday. And I don't know 100% sure if this autograph's legit or not, but I've had this one for many years, and of course got to meet her at a convention that I went to when she signed my Now and Then DVD right here. She signed it, you know, CRII right there, along with Thora Birch, who I got at a Fangoria Weekend of Horror one year. And this past year I got Devin Sawa, who signed it right there, which I thought was super cool. Got to talk to him for a few moments at you know, Monsterpalooza. Christina Ricci was so cool to meet. I got a little photo op with her. The first celebrity I ever got. I ever paid for a photo op with at a convention. It was insane. But like, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pay for it because she was like one of my celebrity crushes growing up as a kid. And I have my Dead Man on Campus DVD. This is the original one that came out from Paramount a long time ago, and it's signed by Jason Segel and also Thomas Edward Scott. I also have my Return to Nukem High Volume 1 here, signed by pretty much the entire cast. You know, Asta Paredes and Clay Von Karlowitz, along with, you know, Lloyd Kaufman, the director of the film. If you guys love Troma, you guys know, you know, I dig their flicks right here. And I went to the LA premiere of this movie right here and got it autographed by a good amount of the people from the film. And next up right here, I got Camp Nowhere, signed by Andrew Keegan himself. You know, Money Mud. If you guys don't know the movie Camp Nowhere, I don't even want to know you. And next up over here, I just sort of put up on the wall because there was a nail there. I got my Ready to Rumble DVD here, part of the, you know, in the Snapper Case edition, signed by Diamond Dallas Page and David Arquette himself. I got to meet these guys at a convention one year, and you know, it was a real brief thing. I believe they both signed it for free. If you know, I would say 90% of the stuff I have, I got the autographs for free. Some sporadic ones I had to pay for, you know, like probably like Marilyn Burns and you know, Gunnar Hansen and stuff. But majority of the stuff I've gotten in my collection here, if it's non-horror related items, I got it signed for free. But David Arquette, got to meet him briefly at a convention, along with, you know, Diamond Dallas Page. Super cool. I've always loved this movie, man. I will rule you! Okay, guys, I got 3 more left to show you for this part of my autograph collection. Stay tuned for Volume 3 of my autograph collection coming soon. But the last 3 I have up for you guys. Next up is Brain Scan here on Blu-ray, signed by Edward Furlong himself. Always been a big fan of his, from Detroit Rock City to Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Brain Scan. Big fan of his, and I got to do 2 videos with him this past year for my YouTube channel, and one of them, actually kind of both of them, semi went viral and got posted on like Yahoo News and all these different news outlets. And it was kind of insane. It was all because him and being in Terminator Dark Fate and what people's interest was before the movie came out, and people were just going, is he really going to be in it? We all know what happened, and what came of it and stuff. But it was really cool to have a sit-down interview with the man himself. But next up right here, I got my Breakin' and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo signed here by Michael Chambers, also known as Boogaloo Shrimp, from this franchise right here. I got to meet him at NostalgiaCon this past year. It was really super cool because I've always loved these dance movies, and to get to dance alongside him and like learn some moves from him at the convention, it was really kind of cool to have a little dance off with him. Well, kind of.
Here's a snap, 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 snap.
Now this is the G right here. But last up for this autograph video right here is my Up in Smoke DVD here, signed by Tommy Chong himself, who you guys know from Cheech and Chong fame. I got to meet and talk to him actually a couple times over the last year or so. Once when I met him in Las Vegas when I was making Out and About, to Las Vegas Adventure for the YouTube channel, and he made a little cameo in there and stuff. And I got to meet him again like a few months later when I was at this other event and things, and that you guys already know what the big announcement was from a video I put up a couple days ago. But I'm gonna be hanging out with Tommy Chong and Cheech Marin, Cheech and Chong, in the next coming months whenever this the world goes back to normal again, and spend an afternoon or a day with them. It's coming up. It's all being planned, through them and their people and stuff. And we're just waiting on dates as of right now. So expect a video with me, Tommy Chong, and Cheech Marin hanging out and doing some stuff. So stay tuned for that, guys. But that's the end of part 2 of my autograph collection right here. I still have a whole box of stuff to go through and show you guys. I thought I was gonna be able to get through these 2 boxes in this video, but I'm not, because I probably talk too much and things like that. But hopefully you enjoyed part 2 of my autograph collection. Make sure if you guys haven't seen it yet, check out the first video I made showing off my autograph collection. I'll have that one in the description box, the very top link of this video right here. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys support my videos. Hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't yet, if you guys want to see more nerdy content from moi. And I'll catch you knuckleheads on the next one.